Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And as promised, I am continuing my series here of every single pay-per-view I watch on the network. I will review it right here. And this one is Unforgiven 2005, an event that I actually never watched. So, I saw quite a few pay-per-views from 2005. And this was one that I didn't get to see, so I was happy to go back and watch it. 2005 wasn't a year I was a big fan of. The quality of the product was starting to really decrease. There was a lot of things going on at this time that were quite unappealing, still too much Triple H for my tastes. This event was an okay event. I liked the pay-per-view in some parts, and other parts weren't that great. Let's get to the review. We start off with Ric Flair defeating Carlito for the Intercontinental belt. Didn't really make a lot of sense to give Ric Flair the Intercontinental title and then have him say that it was just as meaningful to him as the past titles that he won. I mean, world title, intercontinental titles, all the way down here. No comparison, motherfuckers. And they have him come out there and say that, just sounded kind of silly. Very enjoyable match, actually. Carlito, not a bad wrestler. This was a point where, for some reason, they were having Carlito hold back. He was capable of a lot more in the ring, high flying and everything. Not just because he was wrestling Ric Flair, but, a lot of the other matches he was having against the other wrestlers, he was told to limit his style. And this was something that was very, very bad about 2005, especially on the Raws and SmackDowns. The wrestlers were really told at this time to really hold back on the high flying. There was even a time where the shooting star press and the 450 splash were banned at some point. So it was getting a bit ridiculous. The moves were starting to be lessened at this time, and that's what I found annoying. So even though there weren't a lot of unique moves in this match, it was pretty well done, pretty well put together. And the antics with Flair throughout the night with the girls, and there was a segment where he counted how many girls he was with, and he took Viagra. It was pretty funny stuff. So this was a pretty entertaining match. I give it 2.5 stars. Pretty well done, but Ric Flair fighting for a secondary belt just seemed a bit odd. Then you had Trish Stratus and Ashley Mazzaro defeating Victoria and Tori Wilson, and they were accompanied by Candice Michelle. This match was nothing more than just really eye candy. Some decent exchanges with Trish and Victoria, but for the most part it wasn't really all that. Ashley was quite horrible in the ring. Very, very horrible in the ring. She looked good, but her her wrestling ability was quite bad. Very infamously bad. So even though she ended up being a Playboy playmate, her in-ring skills were that of a piece of shit. A big fucking pile of bat guano. I give this match 1 star. Some entertainment, some eye candy, but other than that, it was not that good. The Big Show versus Snitzky. The Big Show ends up beating Snitzky. It wasn't really that bad of a match. It was kind of entertaining. A little bit of a brawl. Not bad for a Big Show match. Snitzky was entertaining, I will say in retrospect. Not a very good wrestler, but he did what he had to do, and he was alright. He was funny. the times when he was told to do promos. He had a very entertaining moment in the history of the company, kicking a fake baby into the crowd. You know, things like that can't be ignored. It's a classic moment, and Snitzky was alright. Not bad for a big man match. I give it 2 stars. Nothing fantastic, but a decent brawl. You know, Big Show hit Snitzky with the bell at the end, the ring bell, to get his revenge. That's what built up to this match. It was okay. Not too bad, not too great. Then you got Shelton Benjamin defeating Kerwin White. A ridiculous character, but not really a bad match. Basically, same style from Chavo Guerrero, just a different look. It was a funny idea. When it first happened, it was ridiculous, and I didn't really like it at the time. Now that I'm older, I sort of appreciate it now. When this happened, this event, I was 18. Now that I'm 26, I think that I appreciate the character a little bit more they were going for. It was funny, and Chavo, kind of boring, as a promo guy, actually had personality as Kerwin White. This character was scrapped soon after because Eddie died, and they didn't want his nephew to look like a fucking goof. So they changed this. But Shelton Benjamin was a wrestler I was quite a bit of a fan of. Very athletic. Even up until he left, a very mishandled wrestler. Probably because his promo skills sucked, and even though he was given even more time for promos, they should have worked on him a little bit more. But the guy who was in the ring was very, very good. I like this match. I give it also 2.5 stars. Some athletic feats by Benjamin and pretty solid technical wrestling here. Matt Hardy defeats Edge inside a steel cage. Awesome fucking match. Bloody. You had a lot of fucking blood in this match, and a lot of dangerous spots. A leg drop off the top of the cage. I give this match 4 stars. There was a large amount of blood. This is how a cage match should be done. Not like the Usos in steel cages like today. This is how a cage match is supposed to be. Bloody, violent, risk-taking. It was a great match, and a lot of story went into this match. A lot of emotional investment before Matt Hardy became a wife-beating goof. He actually was cool at one time, and you could get behind him. And this was a great match. Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch defeat Rosie and the Hurricane. This match sucked. They made it kind of realistic, like the Hurricane got DDT'd and got a stinger, but obviously it wasn't real. He went back into the ring and he just gets beat. Just shitty. I give it a 1/2 star. There wasn't anything good at all here, and the fact that the tag titles changed hands in this match was pretty disgraceful. When you think a title changing hands, you think of a good match happening. This wasn't good. They purposely made one of the wrestlers pretend he was hurt, affecting the match quality on a pay-per-view. This is unacceptable. Shawn Michaels defeating Chris Masters. I like this match. Not tremendous or anything. Chris Masters sucked. He sucked. And he still wasn't that good when he returned a couple of years later. But a decent match. Masters controlled most of the match. It was built around trying to escape from the Master Lock. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty well done match. I give it 3 stars. Nothing phenomenal, nothing breathtaking. But it was a pretty well done match for somebody the level of Chris Masters, which is a very low level of talent. I thought that they handled it pretty well. 3 3 stars, motherfuckers. 3 stars. Kurt Angle defeats John Cena by disqualification. I miss these kind of matches. There was a lot of shenanigans. The fucking disqualification is kind of unacceptable on pay-per-view. I've never liked any pay-per-view matches ending in disqualification. I think that is a total fucking cop-out, especially when it comes to world titles. Don't fucking end the match in disqualification because you're too uncreative to come up with a finish. You know, John Cena is trying to get revenge. He hits Angle with the belt. They make up for it because he FUs Bischoff later on. Then he gives Kurt Angle an FU through the table. So the fans went home happy, motherfucker. Whatever. But, yeah, actually, you know, I think I said at the start of the review was an okay show. You know, this match, I'm giving it 3 stars because the finish was just retarded, you know, just ending so anticlimactic with everybody booing. But it was a solid show and a very good cage match. I give this show a 7.5 out of 10. Not amazing, not very good, but good. You know, in a memorable cage match and some decent matches from Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. So it's definitely worth the look. Undercard isn't that great, but not terrible. There's some decent stuff with Shelton Benjamin that's worth the look, you know, for decent matches, you know, but nothing like nothing like this isn't a pay-per-view you have to immediately watch, you know, if you're getting the network or whatever you're doing. Nothing you have to see, but a decent pay-per-view from, well, it was a better time in WWE. I had my problems with this year, but pay-per-view was okay. 7 out of 10, motherfuckers. Ha.